Forget what you heard. Yeah, boy!
Welcome back to another episode of Forget What You Heard. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Luke.
Making fun of a fat kid at the gym is like making fun of a feral human at a farmer's market. And we're getting back into the playoff, boys and girls. It was a wild, wacky, stunning, interesting weekend of football. But before we get into it, you can smell them before you see them.
Oh, man.
The eighth wonder of the world. How you doing, Brother Bear?
I'm doing good, man. I appreciate you with the kind words to start it out. You may be able to smell me before I enter, but you only see me if you sniff me out, man. That's the only way. Happy to be here. Excited to talk about this great, amazing first wildcard weekend, man. It was excellent. Excited, looking forward to break down the future matchups, give our predictions, break down the games, what we expect. Just a lot of good, juicy, good football, more exciting matches to come, and it's going to be electric.
Yeah, but whatever I say, you can smell them before you see them doesn't mean you smell bad.
What do I smell like normally?
Feral.
But that's not a great thing.
No, you smell like apple crisp, cinnamon.
I've been told I don't smell like anything. I've been told I do not have a scent.
Yeah, actually, I can verify that. You are scentless, which is amazing. You should, I'm very jealous and envious of that. Cause
is that a good thing to not have a scent?
Yeah. It's better than giving off a scent, I think.
Maybe so, yeah.
But, besides Luke being scentless and me stinking like the underside of a dumpster, let's get into these playoff matchups, which were insane. Let's start out with the craziest one of them all. The Los Angeles Chargers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Duval!
Yeah, man, this was, I think, our most anticipated matchup coming into this weekend was the Chargers-Jags. We knew we were going to be in for a great matchup, but the way it unfolded was unlike anything I think we've ever seen. I mean, dang, dude. 4 picks in the first half for Trevor Lawrence.
3 by Asante Samuel Jr.
We're just by halftime, we're like, it's over. I'm going to bed. There's no way. The Chargers, there's no way they throw it away, but the Chargers are going to charge her, man, and that's what ended up happening. Shoot, I mean, I don't know how that's even possible. How do you have a big lead like that going into the second half and then just fumbling the bag?
Let me tell you how it happens, Luke. Brandon Staley, the coaching staff, who was offensive coordinator? They just fired
Joe Lombardi.
Yeah, just fired him, canned him. Deserved to be, fired for that abysmal, just abominable performance. I want to say this. The door was slightly cracked for me just during that game, first half, after 4 picks. And it was only 27-7 at half?
Mm-hmm.
The door was cracked, Luke. There's a little light peeking through, because of the fact that it is the Chargers. They have a history of falling apart, making these games that they should win closer than they need to be, heart attack moments for their fans. And another takeaway I had from this game was, I was feeling down about Trevor Lawrence.
Absolutely.
First playoff performance, goes out there and quite literally, Luke, the worst first quarter any quarterback could imagine. It's like nightmare fuel. 3 picks in the first half.
Yeah.
Nothing was going right.
You could just tell that he had the jitters, like early and often. Like those first few picks were like bad decisions. I mean, a lot of people would say they weren't his fault. I mean, that one to Zay Jones should have been a defensive pass interference.
I like that they let him play.
But yeah, it's the playoffs. But like for Trevor Lawrence, a guy who's been on the big stage, who's won big games, to come out and like be so jittery, making poor decisions early and often, just seemed very, uncharacteristic or kind of surprising because he's been in national championships. He's had the pedigree. He's had a lot of weight on his shoulders in the past. But I guess there's nothing like your first NFL playoff game. I mean, I guess that's a whole different level. And the Jaguars are a team that showed a lot of fight, showed a lot of grit. I think Trevor Lawrence said it himself. Like his teammates performed so well, for him to just let them down like that would be, a big deal. So I mean, shout out to him for fighting adversity, and the second half was incredible.
Yeah, and I think a big, kudos to Doug Peterson.
Yeah, for sure.
For not giving up on Trevor Lawrence. I think, there's not many coaches that would have handled the situation the way Doug Peterson did. Still, tossing around the yard, get full confidence in Trevor Lawrence. He went from 4 picks in the first half to 4 touchdown passes. And you want to hear a fun fact?
What's that?
Trevor Lawrence is undefeated on Saturdays.
I feel like we've heard that about 11 times.
About what?
Like the whole record thing. He's like 52-0 or something since high school.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's incredible, definitely. But yeah, I mean, Doug Peterson single-handedly turned this Jags team into a strong playoff team. Hopefully they can continue to make a run. Because, I mean, Doug Peterson's one of those guys that you're out there surfing, you lose your board out in sea. He gives you a bigger and a better one, his own personal one. He says, here, son, I'm going to give you this board. You take good care of it. Now you have a much bigger, nicer board out there surfing them big waves. You're performing at a higher level.
I was lost for a second on that. Board. I was like, board? What is that?
Surfboard.
Oh. Skimboard.
But I also want to give credit to the front office. And I say this because what they did in the offseason, brought in Evan Ingram, big contract. Brought in Christian Kirk, big contract. Brought in Zay Jones, big contract. And the majority of people were out here, why are you signing these guys to big contracts, bunch of no-names, low-level type of guys? Oh, that's a big mistake. Well, let's take a look at what they did in the first playoff game. They went out and got Evan Ingram, who was excellent. I mean, even in the first half, he was making big plays. He was the most reliable guy. 11 targets, 7 catches, 93 yards, and a touchdown. Excellent. Christian Kirk, the big money guy, he hated on the most of anyone in the offseason. 14 targets, 8 catches, 78 yards, and a touchdown. Profitable. Zay Jones, 13 targets, 8 catches, 74 yards, and a touchdown. All 3 of the big name guys they brought in, all were huge pieces to this victory in the second half. So the people that doubted, you guys got it wrong, and GM did the right thing. Congratulations.
Now I want to talk about the Chargers.
Yeah.
How much blame is on Justin Herbert? Why does he always get a pass, huh? If this was Dak Prescott, if this was Josh Allen, if this was, you can, fill in the blank. There's going to be some criticism. But for the most part, Justin Herbert has gone unscathed.
I think he needed to perform better, obviously, for them to win. But this loss was on the offense as a whole and the head coach. I mean, like you said, they fired their offensive coordinator, which they should have did. That was the right thing. The defense was fine. The defense did their job. They had 5 turnovers. They did. I mean, the second half was kind of hard to, back it up. But the defense did well as a whole. And then I think it's just play calling. The head coach, obviously, that even allowed, them to come back and, didn't put up a great effort, I think falls on the head coach. So I think Herbert should have needed to perform better, but I don't think there's a lot of blame on Herbert.
Here, yeah, I don't think it's that much. I think the only really glaring mistake that Herbert made was the missing Keenan Allen for a pretty wide open touchdown.
Yeah.
And they settled for 3. But golly, newsflash for you: if you're up by 20 plus, and you're winning the turnover battle 5-0
Yeah.
in your favor, hey, how about you run the ball with an MVP candidate in Austin Eckler? How's that sound? Run down the play clock a little bit. Don't hurry up. It's not rocket science, Luke. Am I missing something? Is
No.
this Sudoku?
No, I think you nailed it, man. I mean, I think they had -6 rushing yards in the second half.
Disgusting, man.
When you're up by 20, like you said, Eckler only had 13 carries. That needs to be 26. That needs to be doubled. If you're up big, you have a guy like Eckler. Even Josh Kelly had 7 carries. I mean, give him 12, 14 carries. Like, you don't need Herbert throwing 43 times in a game you're up by 20 in the second half. By that point, you're just killing clock. Take the clock down to 1 second, hand the ball off, punt the ball on 4th down. Play the most conservative route you can. Why is Herbert throwing passes? Why are they, the clock stops when it's incomplete. It's just horrible coaching. Offensive coordinator got fired. Brandon Staley deserves to lose his job. But it sounds like he'll be back next year.
We're playing armchair coach right now, but in all honesty, he's a professional head coach. He gets paid to do this. How would he not know what, we're not telling him anything he doesn't know. I don't understand why. It just doesn't cross my mind how he could think that throwing the ball up by 20 and completely abandoning the run game is a reasonable strategy. It blows my mind.
It's almost on his headset, instead of communicating with the other coaches, he's just listening to Madden 09 soundtrack.
Yeah, he's probably just listening to music, and he's like, "Oh, I have a really young quarterback who's gonna be a freak one day. I'm just gonna let him, throw it around the yard a little bit, like backyard football, or something." I would have won that game as the head coach.
And to be honest, we both picked the Chargers, I believe, but I think we both wanted to pick Jacksonville, knowing Doug Peterson is gonna outcoach Staley.
I think we mentioned that. I think we mentioned how much.
And both teams are similar to where they both have generational quarterbacks. They both have good playmakers on both sides of the ball. But at the end of the day, the better coach is Doug Peterson. He's been there, he's done it, and it was just meant to be. I think. As crazy as that game was, I think it was meant to be.
Yeah, I think we both voiced our displeasure for Brandon Staley, and he certainly proved us right.
Yes.
It's just, I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. But I'm happy for Jacksonville.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. I love Duval. I love their colors, man. I love Travis Etienne. I love everything about them, man.
We'll see what they can do up next against Kansas City later on in the pod. See what we have going for them, but we'll see, man. Hopefully they can keep it going.
Next game on the docket.
Darnell.
49ers and the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay, yeah.
It went not as expected in the first half. It was a close game. I think a 3-point game.
It was a close game. Yeah, the final score wouldn't tell you that, though.
Yeah. Brock Purdy was missing. I mean, I ain't going to lie to you. 49ers had wide open guys running every play. Brock Purdy was off a little bit, wasn't hitting them in the first half.
Okay.
And as we were watching the game, I was like, maybe, Brock isn't that guy. He's missing the wide open guys. But my logical mind said, in the second half, if they continue to have these guys wide open, I mean, he's going to hit a couple and they're going to win this game. Defense started to show up in the second half. Geno had that fumble in the red zone. Things started to fall apart. Picks. And Purdy started to cook. He started to look like he was moving in the pocket, moving around. He looks like a savvy veteran out there, Luke. Very impressed. So many weapons everywhere. Christian McCaffrey continues to be a great addition to this team. Deebo Samuel, he might be the yak goat. Every play, he squirms and squiggles, busts. Any more adjectives you want to add, you can add them. He just finds a way to get yards after the catch, Luke.
Yeah, he's like a extinct weasel shark.
Oh, the weasel shark. Those will befuzzle me.
Just rare, man. Those things are basically extinct, you know. Debo's a rare hybrid type of guy, very special player. But getting back to Brock Purdy, I am obviously very impressed, like you were. His ability to get flushed out of the pocket and still, like, you know, spin, find open guys, make the right reads, make the good throw. He makes some really good throws out of the pocket a lot of the times, and it's been impressive what he's been able to do and what Kyle Shanahan's been able to do with the 7th round rookie. He's going to be tested, though. I mean, he's going to have to answer another test. And even though he's answered all of them up to this point, I mean, he's going to have another one. 3 touchdown passes. He also ran a touchdown. It's been impressive, man. And I guess it's also easy for him when you have guys like Debo, Brandon Ayuk, Kittle, Christian McCaffrey running for 120 yards. It's just a team with no flaws. But I think Seattle did show a little something that can be exposed on their defense.
See, I don't like when people say this team doesn't have flaws.
Name me one other than what DK proved could happen.
Any given Sunday, penalties. I mean, I can't give you on paper they don't really have many flaws, but any given Sunday, different situations. You know, anything could happen. Injuries. Like I don't know that. You know, I'm not penciling them into the Super Bowl. I don't know about you. Maybe you are. A lot of people are. Oh, this team's unbeatable. This, that. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. You know, riding in on Cinderella's pumpkin hatch. I'm not buying into all that. I'm gonna let it play out. I'm gonna make them earn it.
But I'm not penciling them to anything yet. I mean, we'll get to it, but what they've shown up to this point, what have they shown that makes you say that they're not gonna continue? Like, you just Brock Purdy's shown that he's good, he's capable of doing it. Their weapons are always open, unstoppable. Their defense has been the best defense all year. Like, what would make you think that they can't continue playing that way they are?
Well, there's nothing that makes me think that they're not capable of making it to the Super Bowl. I think they're Super Bowl contenders. The playoffs is wacky. You have to play on Sunday. You have to get up for the game. There's scenarios for me, and Brock Purdy is human. He's still a 7th round Mr. Irrelevant pick. Yes, he's looked fantastic. What elite defense has he gone against in his starts?
Who has he played? Miami? I'm not sure. I forget the teams that they finished out with, but
I'm just saying. I think the Cowboys are.
It's hard for me to say that because he's shown it over and over and over again for the last 7 weeks. What type of player he is. Like, why would it be any different now? Like, yeah, there's going to be games where he's not playing very good, and there's moments where he makes a bad decision. But, I mean, I think he's shown enough to show that he's capable of winning games and doing it.
What week did he start playing?
But like week 12, 13, I think Miami was the first game.
So they played Miami, Tampa Bay, Seattle, Commanders, Raiders, Cardinals.
I mean, yeah, not great defenses, but I don't know. That's not really.
I think that he hasn't been tested.
You don't think so?
By who? By what? Wouldn't we be able to see a flaw if there's a lot of pressure on him? Maybe he turns the ball over. Like, maybe we haven't seen the chink in the armor, so to speak. I mean, what if Micah Parsons is that?
But not all those defenses were horrible.
Well, elite. Were any of them good?
I mean, Tampa, Miami has moments.
Come on, man.
Washington brings pressure. They blitz one of the most in the league.
Hey, Don't pee on my head and tell me it's raining.
I'm just saying, I think it's he's shown us over and over what type of guy he is, but I'm not saying he's going to be perfect. Like he can have a bad game against Dallas. He can have a bad game against Philly because he is a human, and he is, but I think he's shown enough to be able to win games, to be able to take them further in the playoffs. Like, I don't think he is like – it's hard for him to be the biggest downfall when the Niners are built up in so many other ways, is what I guess I'm trying to say.
He would be he would be their biggest downfall. He's the quarterback.
Right, but, I mean, they've done it with, like, Jimmy Garoppolo. They've done it with guys who just have to be good. Like,
Right.
You don't have to be –
Right, but let's say Brock Purdy plays against Dallas and he's bad.
But yeah, right. They still have a chance. They still have chances to win. Is what I'm saying too. Is like why the Niners are probably the scariest team in the NFC right now, because if Jimmy G's bad, they can still win games. If Brock Purdy's bad, they'll still win games.
All I'm saying is I think the San Francisco bottom line, Luke.
Okay.
I agree with everything you're saying. I think 49ers are dang near,
Like the 49ers in the second half against Seattle is scary.
It's scary.
Yeah.
I agree. If they're clicking on all cylinders. All I'm saying is I'm tired of people just, overlooking the Cowboys game. I think it's going to be a good game.
Oh, I agree with that. We'll talk about that.
I think it's going to be very close.
That'll be a great game.
Yeah.
Last year was a great game.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not – people are, I don't know. It's so weird, that people just – they see domination for, the back half of the year, and they forget that this team they have to play Sunday. You know what I mean? Like, you have to go and play and
Right.
put on a good performance.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, as we've seen. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. We'll get to it. We'll talk about all that. For Seattle, they might have played it close. They probably didn't have a great second half. They didn't do their best, but I think they did expose something. Yes, I know DK Metcalf is a special receiver in the NFL, but it kind of showed that you can kind of pick on Travarius Ward a little bit. Like he's been a great corner all year, but he kind of has a flaw, and I think it's his IQ, his football IQ. He's not all the way. He's talented, he's tall, he's big, but I think you can kind of pick on him a little bit. Lenore, the other corner, you can also kind of pick on a little bit. So I think you get matchups like A.J. Brown. You get matchups like Devontae Smith, you get CeeDee Lamb, guys like that who can put up the DK numbers but also perform better in the second half. You can give the 49ers a run for your money.
Tre'Davious Ward.
Travarius?
He is a really good corner.
He is.
But you mentioned you get in his head a little bit. He had that, what was it, unnecessary roughness on Geno.
Mm-hmm.
To end the half, which is a very, very dumb play. However, he is one of the best man-to-man corners, and he had been dominating the season matchup with DK, but I think DK took that personal, and I think that shows what DK can be when he asserts himself and he has, personal, like his motor going. He can be dang near impossible to guard. But I don't think you can pick on Tre'Davious Ward. I don't think you should choose to do that because he's a heck of a corner. Makes dumb plays, but
No, he's good. I'm not trying to discredit him. He's been one of my favorite corners all season. I'm just saying I think Lenore, the other corner you can target. He's going to be the guy that gets picked on the most. But I think Tre'Davious Ward is going to be that moment in the games, big games, where he you get a deep defensive pass interference from him, you get a late hit, you get a, misassignment from him. It just seems like it's going to happen. I mean, if you're a 49ers fan, you probably hate me because he's been really good. But I think DK kind of showed, if you bring it to him, you get in his head a little bit, you can take advantage of that. But like you said, not to get you wrong, DK is a special talent. There's not a lot of guys left in the playoffs like him. So you probably won't see that. But I do watching the game, though, Aaron can speak for himself, but I think Kenneth Walker is next up to be one of those, really solid running backs that you can rely on moving forward for Seattle.
Yeah,
franchise guy.
Yeah, I think Kenny Walker has a bright future. I just wish DK would assert himself. That's all. That's all I was really speaking on. Is like, if he could have that mentality going into every game, he'd be, top 5 wide receiver in the league. Don't you agree? With his physical ability.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah. I just don't like. Yeah, I don't understand that. But Geno Smith. Shout out to you. You had a good year. We wrote you. You didn't read.
Can't read.
Can't read. He can read. I don't want to be that mean, but good job, Gino. Pete Carroll did a heck of a job. You fought, you lost to a better team. That's all you can do, man.
I mean, yeah, shout out to Seattle for what they did this past offseason, what they did with this team, these young group of guys. They had an excellent draft. We kind of all expected them to only win like 3 or 4 games, but to make it in the wild card, very impressive. I'm excited to see what they do this offseason with the top 5 pick and what they do with Geno. Sounds like he'll be back. And just building off what they did this year. This team might have a lot more expectations going into next year, and it's exciting. They feel a little bit more exciting going into next year than they did going into this year.
I see London, I see France, I see Gino's underwear.
Yo, I can see your underwear right now, dude.
Please don't.
Next up, man, we got the Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. Different.
Oh, wow. This game was another surprising one. Buffalo got up.
Not surprised.
Yeah, you actually you're one of the few. I even forget that you're like, don't sleep on this game, and I was like, I'm sleeping. And it was 17-0 real quick. And then, Skylar Thompson is so bad, but I think a lot of the fault was on the Dolphins receivers dropping a lot of. There were some good throws out there, Luke. I'm not even kidding you.
Yeah.
I heard you.
A lot of drops.
Yeah, but I think the biggest takeaway from this game is Josh Allen turning the ball over, man.
Yeah.
Whether it's a fumble that led to a touchdown. What do you have, 2 picks?
Yep.
He's got to take care of that ball. He's getting a little reckless. It seems like his keister's tightened in the playoffs. He feels like he's aiming the ball instead of just feeling out the pass, like he's forcing it. That's concerning to me. Buffalo doesn't feel as dominant as they did at the early on in this year. Josh Allen seems very mortal now. Those are just a couple of the takeaways, and that Skylar Thompson is really bad.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with Josh Allen. I don't know if he's playing scared or he's playing with too much pressure, or because obviously he wants to win, he's competitive, but it just seems like he has a lot of pressure on him. I guess that maybe he feels that he has a lot to do. He's got to be his best self for them to win, and
he's forcing it. Doesn't
he's forced. Yeah, very forced. He's not playing. He's
not playing loosey goosey.
He only had 4 rushing attempts. He's a guy that'll run the ball 10 times. Make plays that way too. And it's just, a lot of guys stepped up big. Gabe Davis had a good game. Khalil Shakur, Cole Beasley, Dawson Knox had a great touchdown catch. Which ultimately makes this team so scary is Josh Allen didn't have a great game, but he has these weapons here that are going to score, that are going to make the big plays for you. And but as a whole, the Dolphins' defense played really good. 7 sacks, had 3 turnovers. They stood around, they hung in there, they fought hard. It was just offensively, it wasn't enough for them to they put 31 points up on Buffalo, who's known for having a good defense as well. It's pretty impressive considering Skylar Thompson was 18 for 45.
Golly. Dang, last time I saw it was like 15 for 30 something, or like 37. I was like, golly, I haven't seen a completion percentage that bad since Paxton Lynch over on JV.
Yeah, it was ugly, but I don't even know how that it was the turnovers is what kept them in the game, because offensively they're hard to watch. A lot of dink and dunk, a lot of short stuff.
I have you going on that little Very good analysis of the game. Thank you for that, Luke. Brought up some more concerns I have on the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Their lack of run game concerns me, especially in the playoffs. Yes, I know you have Josh Allen and all those weapons that you mentioned, but even the Chiefs,
Mm.
who have won the Super Bowl, they never give up on the run game.
No.
And that's something. It kind of is reminiscent or comparable to Tampa Bay, how they just give it to Tom Brady and completely abandon the run game, which makes you very one-dimensional, and that's not what you want to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You want to
playoff
be very, you want to keep teams guessing, but when they know that you're going to pass the ball or Josh Allen's going to do the majority, they can lock in.
Mm-hmm.
That concerns me, and their defense isn't. They need Von Miller. I think Von Miller was, that's a big blow. But those are just some concerns. I still think, they're a good football team. I just have those concerns.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, the passing a lot, no running is a regular season thing, absolutely. I mean, the playoffs, you can just tell just by watching the game. Like, if you're not running the ball and establishing the run, like, you're going to have a hard time against these defenses, putting up big points, limiting turnovers. I mean, just establishing the ground game opens up the whole playbook, opens up you controlling the game, the tempo of the game, just a lot of different things. And I want to say, like, for the Bills, as much as I think Devin Singletary is a very average running back, he needs to be involved. He had 10 carries in this game. James Cook had 12. But I think, like, in the playoffs, I understand James Cook's ability to, pop it off, whatever, but Devin Singletary should be leading this backfield in the playoffs.
Why not Nyheim Hines? They made that trade. Why not Nyheim? Give him some action.
No, I don't think so. He maybe as like a third down guy, but in terms of just like handing the rock off, I think they need to give Devin Singletary that workload they got him early in the season. As much as I don't like him, whatever, he should be seeing 15 carries. James Cook gets sprinkled in every now and again, but you need that guy you can kind of ride on, and he can hit the hole. He can do the heavy duty lifting in the backfield, and that's what I would be trying to do if I was a coach. Establish Devin Singletary, and try to open up some other stuff for you guys.
I would compare the Buffalo Bills with Josh Allen. I'm gonna go to a different sport. James Harden on the Rockets. Yeah, it's good in the regular season. Josh Allen puts up MVP numbers. James Harden put up MVP numbers, just astounding. Everyone loved him. Good regular season. They had like the best records in the league. Both the Rockets and the Bills they're up there near the top. And then whenever the playoffs come around, they kind of get figured out. And, it's never enough just having that one person shoulder all that, all that pressure and make everything happen around them. There's so much on their plate that it tends to be too much.
Yeah, that's true. And it's like, for both instances, like the few guys that you would rely on that heavily would be guys like Josh Allen, James Harden, those guys that are capable of doing that. But like you said, like in the playoffs, like everything slows down. You have to establish other things to get everything going. And it's like you can rely on Allen, you can rely on James Harden, but one man can't run the whole show in the playoffs because they're coming for you big time. You got 11 guys versus one guy, you're going to get smacked upside down. You're going to be laying in your bed with your feet on your pillows.
Someone's twisting their toes.
But yeah, man, I mean, the Bills, they're going to be there. They got the Bengals on Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Very much looking forward to this one, Luke. I'm very excited.
And we'll talk about this matchup, man. But if the Bills can get a little more healthy, we'll see how that goes.
Who would they get back?
We'll talk about it.
What's next on the plate, man?
Oh, what are we looking at, man? We're seeing some of these wild cards. Ooh, I love this game, man.
Please say it.
We've got the New York Giants.
Yeah.
Versus the Minnesota Vikings.
Yes. I picked the Vikings, man. Expecting you know what the definition of insanity is?
Repeating it over and over.
and expecting a different result. Well, call me insane, lock me up in an insane asylum because I picked the Vikings, man, and Kirk Cousins did it to me again. They pamper me, and the next thing you know, they're ripping the carpet right under me, Luke. I gotta expect it now. I'm never, you heard it here first. I'll forget what you heard. Never picking the Vikings led by Kirk Cousins again. Book it down. Never. I cannot do it. But I'm not even mad that they lost. I'm ecstatic for Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, Brian Daboll, even what's his name, Isaiah Hodgins.
Yep.
Golly, what
Oregon State.
What a performance by that squad. Well coached. I think the Giants are like a prime example of what a head coach that brings a culture, that brings that mentality, can do to a franchise. Turn them around with not that much talent, to be honest with you, in terms of like weapons and whatnot. But Danny Jones set an NFL record. With 300 yards passing, 70-plus yards rushing, 2 touchdown passes. He was amazing. I think he's blossoming in front of America's eyes, and it's a beautiful thing. And look out for the G-Men.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. Brian Daboll had this team fully prepared all the way around from the beginning. I think it was amazing how confident the Giants came into this game from the very beginning. First few drives, just driving the ball, no stalling. Daniel Jones playing like he's playing like prime Peyton Manning out there. He's making big throws. He's feeling loose. He's feeling good about himself. He's confident, man. Confidence goes a long way in life, in every aspect of your life as well. And, I mean, Daniel Jones is talented enough to where if he's confident in the way he's playing, he's going to make plays. And shout out to Brian Daboll for having this team fully prepared. They were ready to go. They were ready to go to war. And they did, man. They did. I mean, Saquon had a lot of juice against Minnesota. He only had 9 carries, but, man, he looks like he is back to his old self again. And that'll be great to have moving forward in the playoffs. And Daniel Jones is working for that contract, man. He's trying to get paid.
He earned it. He earned it that game. He's getting paid, guarantee.
You think so?
Danny Jones Laka.
I think he did too, man. I believe that.
Dude, Daniel Jones, when a play is not there, wide receiver's not open, his hind legs are a weapon, and he's letting it be known. Yo, this isn't just for looks, man. I can move on these puppies. He's got some dog in him. He'll put his helmet down. I don't think I saw him slide once, which scares me. But also, he gets down and dirty. And I like when a sharp dressed man like Daniel Jones, pops his collar a little bit and gets in the mud.
Yeah, I noticed that too. He's a big guy. He's
big. That's a great point.
He puts his head down. He hits you. That's for sure. He's gonna get those yards. But you know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I know you don't like it, and I don't. Like, it kind of scares me every time, and, sooner or later it's going to catch up. He needs to learn to slide, but, God, me and Luke were watching the game together, and we're like, dude, he's big.
Yeah.
He was, like, towering. What is he? He's got to be 6'5".
Yeah.
Golly, he's handsome.
I guess you could call him handsome, man. He's proven he's got that.
Man, don't beat it. Don't.
I'll say the confidence gives him that handsomeness.
He glows, doesn't he?
And it's been great, man. They've recently, the last few weeks, the regular season, that Indianapolis Colts game, the Eagles game, it was almost like they found a rhythm. It's found stuff that works for them. It was able to boost their confidence heading into their second matchup with Minnesota. The first matchup, they only lost the last-second field goal. So they came into it, probably watched a lot of film. Like, we know how to attack. We know what we're going to do. And they came out and executed great. They did great on both sides of the ball. I know there's a lot of talk for Kirk Cousins stinks, this and that, but Kirk Cousins didn't stink. The defense gave up 31 points, gave up 300 yards passing, gave up over 130 yards rushing. It was the defense. The defense failed the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not putting it all on Kirk's.
Kirk deserves to be back next year.
Shoulders. I will say, the defense did let them down, and that they need to go out this offseason and get some kind of playmaker on the defensive side of the ball.
Okay.
And that will be huge because they haven't had that since when?
What's Daniel Hunter?
Dude, he's a motor guy. You have to get him revving, and it's hard. He's like one of those guys you have to, he'll have those crazy games, but he's not an every down guy you have to worry about.
What about Zadarius Smith?
Old washed.
What about Eric Kendricks?
Old washed.
What about Harrison Smith?
Old washed.
Dalvin Tomlinson?
Big.
Patrick Peterson?
Washed.
Just
They
saying.
have aging
They have some guys, though. Jordan Hicks.
I'm talking about like a Derwin James.
Oh, yeah, ain't gonna happen.
Come on, man.
There's one Derwin James in the NFL. You're going to go get him? How?
No, I mean just make a splash. Like
At corner, what do you think would be the best move for him? I think Zadarius Smith and Daniel Hunter off the edge are good. I think Eric Kendricks.
Did they sign Daniel Hunter?
Eric Kendricks is a good guy in the middle. He can fly around. He's going to get you your 5 to 10 tackles a game. I think you need a guy in the secondary, man.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, Patrick Peterson's old, and
They should have went out and gotten a J.C. Jackson last year, or
J.C. Jackson's not very good.
he's out for the season. I'm saying go spend big on number one corner, a lockdown, like a Ramsey or a J.C., one of those guys.
Yeah.
Jair Alexander, go spend big on the biggest cornerback you can get.
Yeah, and I also think something on the defensive line would help. Yes, Daniel Hunter has the potential to be that guy, but
He's good, dude.
He's good. I cannot argue. However, he doesn't have the motor of a guy that's a Pro Bowler that's gonna, do it every play, be a disruptor every play. I don't think he's that guy. He's got the diva mentality. Did they pay him?
I think so.
Oh, well, if he got paid, then he's just.
But it's Zadarius Smith too. He's always up there in sacks.
I know, but there needs to be more. There needs to be something done.
It's a secondary.
I will give fault to Kirk Cousins for that last 4th down throw.
Okay, yeah.
Is it on him or the receiver that didn't cut the route out? He cut the route out 7 yards too soon.
Yeah, but was that the route or did he do that?
But why? I don't ever understand why quarterbacks. Maybe they think they'll break the tackle and get the first down. Make a play. But for me, it's at least throw it past the sticks, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to say that not being a quarterback. For the quarterback, I'm throwing it to him to make a play, get the first down.
Yeah,
for me, I'm throwing it past the stakes.
Yeah, me too. I mean, dude, I'm taking the chance.
Yeah,
even if it's a 50-50 ball.
Yeah.
A streak.
Where's Jefferson?
Matchup.
Where's Hawkinson? Yeah.
Yeah, Jefferson went MIA.
Yeah.
That can't really happen, man.
Shout out to Adoree Jackson.
Adoree Jackson's a real one.
I think it was his first game back after missing a lot of weeks, and
he's sneaky good.
He was
I've always
phenomenal.
really liked him.
He was awesome.
He's been an outcast, but I've always really liked him.
I mean, dude, to only allow 7 catches, 47 yards for Justin Jefferson, I don't think that happened all year. To do that, missing 7 games, coming back, and just doing that was incredible. That was one of the biggest keys to this win, absolutely. But I mean, and then that forced Cousins to go to Hawkinson, and Hawkinson is a gosh darn dog. Hawkinson is real good at football, man.
Yeah, he's real good. That was a good trade.
He's going to be a good guy to target in fantasy next year, I think. Off rip, Kelsey's number 1, Hawkinson's the second tight end you take in fantasy next year.
Even if Mark Andrews, Lamar's back?
Even if. I'm telling you. Yeah, but that was kind of off the rip. But I'm excited that the Giants won. I like seeing the divisional matchup against the Eagles. They're gonna have the 3rd time meeting this year. Animosity, always this. Divisional games bring this different type of energy every time. I expect it to be a close game. I expect it to be a fight, and it's gonna be a good football game, fun to watch, especially with the way the Giants are playing right now, and kind of the unknown of Jalen Hurts. I think this game could be very good.
Yeah, let's go to the next one.
Yes, sir.
What you got for me?
What is it, Bug?
You want to do Cincy and the Baltimore Ravens?
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Cincinnati didn't really play all that well. It wasn't a pretty game by either side. The play that won the game for the Bengals was that goal line QB sneak to Tyler Huntley, fumbled, returned by Sam Hubbard.
Crazy.
But in all honesty, man, it kind of makes me concerned about the Bengals. Their offensive line is decimated.
Yes.
They had trouble the whole year getting the run game started. We know what Joe Burrow is. We know what Jamar Chase is. We know what T. Higgins is. But Joe Burrow needs that time in the pocket. They need to establish some kind of run game. It's concerning. Honestly, the Ravens could have stolen that game. Huntley doesn't. J.K. let it be known to the world how he felt. He said, "You don't QB sneak it there. You give me the dang ball and get out of my way. I already got in before. I'm gonna run hard. I didn't get the ball enough." And I love to hear that. That's refreshing to hear J.K. get something off his chest, man.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. It's nice to hear that, but it's kind of scary at the same time because I think it may be time for them to move on from John Harbaugh. You've got Lamar not wanting to play. You've got a lot. J.K. wasn't the only one that spoke out either about that. I forget who else did. Someone else did, big time. Just mentioning, it's almost kind of like a rinse and repeat, like the last few years with Baltimore. You get here, whether it be injuries, something, they get derailed, they don't get to where we expect them to be. And it seems like they're kind of frustrated with that because this team is good enough to make a big run when they're, fully healthy. And what J.K. said, with Lamar, this is a much different outcome, I believe. But
as far as John Harbaugh goes, they could have won this game. He put them in a good position. They didn't have Lamar for the basically the second half of the season, and they made the playoffs. He's a good coach, man. I don't think. Is he the one calling the plays?
I know it's Greg Roman, but what I think, I think
they should. Roman should go.
I agree 100%. But I think John Harbaugh's a good coach, definitely. He's done a good job, but it just seems like his time is being. I don't know. It just seems like it might be time.
He got real angry at the sideline reporter.
Really?
She was asking him questions. He was getting real snappy and sassy, and I don't like that.
You didn't like it?
She was just doing her job, but she was asking real questions, and he was like, "We're just gonna see."
Yeah, they had a chance, man. Mark Andrews did pretty well. Demarcus Robinson's been pretty good for them as well. But yeah, more J.K., less Tyler Huntley, and it could have been different. But the Bengals, man, they're dealing with a lot of stuff, man. They're dealing with offensive line. Joe Mixon hasn't really established much so far this year. Jamar Chase had a great game, but
Jamar Chase is real good.
Yeah, you love Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase greater than Justin Jefferson. Don't at me.
You've been saying that.
At Aaron Campbell, Alien Boy 1717.
That's all true. But it just like you said, it wasn't a great game for Cincinnati. They lost a lot on their own. Jonah Williams got hurt.
Wasn't a good showing, and it's concerning. But, with Joe Burrow at the helm, it's going to be an interesting game coming up week.
They were one J.K. Dobbin carry away from tying it up, and from taking a lead, right?
Yeah, I think they would have taken
17-24 Baltimore.
Yeah,
with 11 minutes left. So that's all it took, man, was that one stupid play. But
that's crazy. Baltimore could have really stolen that game.
They could have.
But football's a crazy thing, and things happen.
But the Bengals, man, they're going on to face Buffalo, Josh Allen, and could get interesting.
I don't know who I'm going to pick at this very moment.
You don't think so? What happens to Lamar Jackson?
Now we're talking. He didn't travel with the team.
Mm-mm.
He did not travel with the team, Luke. That's a red flag. Okay, it was concerning that he wasn't suiting up. Yeah, he tweeted out that he had swelling in his knee. But the fact that he didn't go support his team is very alarming, and I think we might see Lamar Jackson on a different team next year. But they said they're going to franchise tag him, but I don't think Lamar will play on the franchise tag, to be honest with you.
You know what I've been hearing about that him not traveling? They're saying that he was sick. He's dealing with the knee. He's dealing with the sickness. Didn't want to travel with the team.
I mean, I would say the same thing if there was some animosity from my star quarterback that doesn't want to support the team in a playoff game. That's very concerning. So you got to throw out some kind of, COVID jargon, some vaccination disease.
I know. I've been saying this, man. If they're not treating Lamar the way he deserves to be treated, if they don't want to give him that big contract, then he should leave. And he should feel some type of way about it, too. I mean, he's been an MVP. He's carried this team to the playoffs every year. He's broken records. What more could you ask of Lamar if you're not willing to pay him what he wants? He should leave. He deserves to leave. And I don't fault him for that.
I think he's a little bit salty that Roquan Smith got that big deal.
You think so?
Yeah, they're handing out money to a linebacker they just traded for, and then he's been there since the very beginning and turned this franchise around, and he's sitting there, probably going to get franchise tag, not getting the respect, not getting that big contract that, he believes he deserves, and I think that's disrespect. Or he feels it's disrespect. At the end of the day, it's business, and I understand both sides of the argument. But hey, man, who am I? I'm just, I'm a pawn in this whole game of chess.
Yeah, you're a regular schmegler.
Hey, dude, you remind me of someone.
You remind me of Betty White.
You remind me of a guy I once knew.
You remind me of a white Bobby Portis.
You remind me of Christopher Walken.
You remind me of Ted Bundy with junior-sized feet.
Has anyone ever told you look like Steve Buscemi?
No, but they told me I smelt like him.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably odorless too.
What's the perfect destination for Lamar Jackson?
I would really love I heard this from I like him on the Jets.
Me too.
Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore.
Yeah, they could use a franchise
And I think
guy.
he'd look real good in that green, man.
Yeah, I agree. I like that. I hope he goes to the Jets. What would the Ravens do?
Tyler Huntley?
I don't think so.
I don't know, dude. I have no idea what the Ravens would do. Obviously they have trouble spinning up and getting out the the pin and the check and writing a little signature and putting a little period on the check.
Yeah, they don't like to spend.
How do you think do they just direct deposit your money in your account, or they give you a fat check and say, hey man, go cash this at the...
What do you mean?
When they give you your big contract, is it direct deposit?
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be, especially nowadays.
I mean, maybe it's a check.
I mean, I'm sure
like on your locker or something?
You know how at your job you can choose whether you get a check or a direct deposit?
Yeah.
I'm sure some of those guys get that check, man.
Yeah.
And they could literally go cash it at Bank of America.
Absolutely. Because they get paid, I think, every week during the season.
Yeah,
like Monday or Tuesday or something.
Dude, just imagine being a professional football player and you get 100,000, like one of those QB contracts where you're getting paid $17,000 in the first half of a football game or something. Maybe more. Aaron Rodgers probably making crazy.
Does he make $50 million?
Yeah, something crazy.
He probably has every Tuesday it's $750,000 or something.
I mean, that's just really hard to fathom, but it must be really nice.
I guess if you're about that money life.
No, man, you earned it.
Did he earn it, or was he just playing football?
Apparently, this is a sidebar, but ever since Aaron Rodgers did the ayahuasca, he's been seeing the shadow man with a hat in the background of his life with his cigar.
What do you mean? What's going on here?
So he says he sees a shadow man
He said this?
It's
okay, all right.
it's reported.
All right.
But like he'll see him just in the background of what he's looking at. It's like something's following him from that.
Like he's cursed?
From that ayahuasca trip. It's kind of like got something in his mind. So he calls him the Dark Cigar Man. The Shadow Cigar Man.
He's got the cowboy hat on?
Wouldn't that be scary to see that guy everywhere you go?
Yeah.
What if it was like a Slender Man or something? That would be freaky. Or a Wendigo.
The paralysis guy?
Oh, gosh. Pulling on your toes.
Just seeing him.
Dude, I don't know what I would do if, I were to take a mind-altering drug and then I was never the same again. I'd live with a lot of regret, Luke.
You don't think there's ways to combat that?
I don't know, dude. You're messing with the brain at that point. Once you, imprint something on your brain, I think it's pretty hard to, unprint it, if you will.
I'd probably just, accidentally drown in a lake.
I'd accidentally print your face on toilet paper.
I support that. It'd be like a currency, like a dollar bill. Like Ben Franklin, but you got me on the toilet paper.
Would you take that? Would you be offended, or would you be, and would you take that as an endearment kind of thing?
That's an endearment to me, man.
Yeah, that's really cool. Usually people that
you're wiping your skis with my face on it. That's honorable.
Usually people would take that as respect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean disrespect.
Hmm.
Because you're literally wiping your loins with your face. If that's not disrespect, I don't know what is, dude. But Luke, I
think it's the fact that they have the toilet paper of me
they
in their household.
They purchased.
They went out of their way to get the Luke face toilet paper, and they're using it to clean up. Come on, man. Couldn't ask for more in life.
This is why we have you on the podcast because, I think 99% of people would take that as disrespect, but you take it as respect. And that's why I respect you as a human.
I'm going to have to get in contact with maybe purchase a few.
I'd buy it.
We'll sell it as merch. Link in the bio.
What if someone took a picture of their leftovers on it?
I wouldn't mind, man. Hey. Thanks for the support, man.
That's crossing the line to me.
Thanks for the support, dog.
Hey, man, I like the way you think, man. Glass half full.
You know what I like?
Huh?
Seeing the Cowboys beat Tampa Bay, man.
Do you really?
No, I don't care that much. I think the better team won.
Yeah, I think we both picked the Cowboys.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, what we kind of said on the last podcast kind of came to fruition. The Tampa Bay is broken. They have no run game. Something's very wrong, and they fired Byron Leftwich because of it.
Okay, so is the firing of Leftwich right? Is that understandable?
Yeah.
Is it the fault of the regression of Tom Brady, not being good anymore?
I think their offense was, I've said this, very one-dimensional. There's no flow. They had never one game this year. I don't think they had flow except for maybe the Jacksonville game in Germany. There's no flow. It was a lot of 3-and-outs, a lot of miscommunications that may have looked like Tom Brady was regressing. I don't think Tom Brady fell off a cliff or anything. I think that, their offense was stale, I would say, and I think Byron Leftwich had to go.
Yeah, I think Brady said it best after the loss. He said, kind of typical of the way we played all season. This was a game that the way Tampa Bay played was the same we've seen all year. There wasn't anything different from this game than any of the games that we saw all season. We expected this 8 weeks ago. If Tampa Bay gets in, they're going to get beat in the first round because they can't sustain drives. Their defense hasn't been very good all year. And it's just... This was what we expected, man, honestly. I mean, it's not too surprising. I mean, for Dallas, it was nice to see Dak, finally play up to par to what we're used to seeing out of him. He had one of the best games of the year.
Shout out to Dak.
Yeah, he had a great game.
People have been dragging his name through the mud.
Rightfully so, though.
Why?
He hasn't been good.
I know, but we know that he's a capable, good quarterback.
Yeah, but when you're playing down, you're not playing good.
People kick you.
You deserve criticism.
That's what I don't like about this society. You get kicked when you're down.
I think it's fair.
It's not fair. He played fantastic. Tony Pollard. I want to concede to Luke on the podcast. I'm gonna take the high road, and I'm gonna say, Luke, you were right on Tony Pollard.
Thanks.
He is an incredible talent, man. He's got that third, fourth, fifth gear, because I think Zeke, his last 40 carries has amounted to 76 yards.
Really?
40 carries, 76 yards. Plotter, platypus, poop.
Washed.
Tony Pollard, he's just exciting. He can take you to the house on any given play. CeeDee Lamb, Dalton Schultz is coming. Very good weapon to have.
Yeah.
There's potential there. I'm happy for Cowboys Nation. Good on you. I don't have any animosity towards Dallas Cowboys. Just the city of Dallas in general and the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, the one guy in the world that hates Dallas Mavericks. No one hates him more than Aaron, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'll stand on that hill, man.
But, this team is, a good team defensively. Offensively, they're starting to click. It's going to be a strong team, and I'm excited to see the matchup between them and the 49ers. Russell Gage got carted off late in the fourth. He slipped, fell on the turf. Hit his neck real good. I think he's in good spirits, man. Hopefully he recovers well and he's doing well.
Pairs up to Russell.
But obviously, now that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers season is over, the biggest question mark is Brady. That post-game interview, it made it almost seem like a goodbye. He was kind of thankful for his opportunities and thanking all the media members and, kind of reflecting on this past year. It just made it seem like Brady's gone. It made it seem like, he's down to two options, finding a different team for one more season or he's going to retire. So I just want to ask what you thought is going to happen with Tom Brady.
I'm going to plead the fifth. I don't really want to say either way. I'm not going to give in to the speculation. I'll let you handle that.
Why me, huh?
Because I like your opinion.
Are you above me or what?
No, man. I consider us equals.
Hey, I don't know yet, man.
Say it.
He's 45 years old. He said he always wanted to play till he was 45. So, maybe it could be that's it. He walks out and leaves. But I'm going to tell you guys right here.
Please.
I've been telling Aaron. I told him this yesterday.
Bounce.
Tom Brady is going to be a Las Vegas Raider next year.
Raiders.
Sign a 1-year deal. Team up with Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, and they're going to bring in some pieces. They're going to bring in some defensive freaks. They got Chandler Jones, Max Crosby there already. They're going to bring in some older veteran free agents. Patrick Peterson comes to mind. Jordan Poyer, the safety, comes to mind. Guys like that. Build up a team. Bring back Gronk out of retirement. Come play tight end with Darren Waller. Brady runs it back last season. Super Bowl is in Allegiant Stadium next year. And, I'm saying Brady's going to be a Raider if he's not retired.
See, that's why I gave you the floor, man, because I like that. But also, I think you were the one that told me, he didn't get a divorce from Giselle just to come back for 1 year.
No.
Just to retire after 1 year.
He ain't.
You don't leave a, supermodel.
You don't give up your family for 1 year of football. He's going to play another year.
I don't care if you kiss your son on the lips, man. You ain't going to quit after 1 year, man.
Aaron was telling me how much he's ready to have a kid so he can follow Tom Brady's footsteps and kiss his children on the lips.
No, quite the contrary. I don't think you should be doing that.
He kisses his parents on the lips.
His son's a grown man.
Yeah, but he kisses his parents on the lips, too.
Who does?
Tom.
He does?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I don't know if it's a strong bond or sexual tension in there, but either way, it's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know anyone that does it except for Tom Brady. I don't even think in my head
He's different, man. He calls his teammates babe and stuff. Like, he's just a different guy. He carries himself in a different way, which I respect.
He's a flower child, man.
You think so?
I think he loves anyone.
You think it's because he's just like a good guy, or he's just like kind of?
I think it's because he's sus.
You might be a little specked or what?
No, I don't know, man. I, teach their own. I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't do that if I had a son. I'm gonna, pat him on the head and, do the normal dad stuff.
I just hope he does what he feels is best with his life, man. Cause
shoot, I don't mind if he comes back or retires. I don't care either way. We're gonna hear from him either way. It doesn't matter.
That's true.
I mean,
you're kind of over all that.
Yeah, I'm not. This offseason, I'm not giving into it. I'm not saying one word.
No, we'll talk about it on here.
It's the Raiders.
He'll be on the Raiders.
That'd be pretty cool, honestly.
Devontae Adams.
Come to the AFC West, man, and get popped by the Broncos.
Gosh. Broncos need Sean Payton.
It sounded like, it's between Sean Payton and Dan Quinn, and they had a 3-hour interview with Sean Payton.
Really?
Yeah, that's really good. They said it's a really good sign. And they had all hands on deck. Condoleezza Rice, John Elway, Patton, all those Walter boys. What is the Walmart people? Waltons?
Yeah, Walton.
Travis
Walter boys?
Walton?
No.
Travis Walton?
No.
The alien abductor?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy that owns the Broncos.
Yeah, I think Sean Payton's intrigued by the Broncos because of how much money they have. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I think that's enticing for someone like a high-profile head coach, because like you'll be able to spend, you kind of more freedom, more. We can go get this guy, we can get that guy, because we have billions more dollars than anyone else. And like, I think Russell is interesting, like, because you don't have to have. I think he's probably hard to get along with as a coach, but like he's good enough to where you can build a system around him to. He's like good enough, obviously, to like be on a playoff team.
I think his reputation and has been there, done that. So I think Russell Wilson will respect him more than he did Hackett. I think he had Hackett by a leash.
Yeah.
Told Hackett what to do.
I could see that.
But Sean Payton's not going to have that. He's going to put Russell Wilson over his knee and spank his little butt.
Yeah. It's just, I'm like just picturing like what it would look like, because like Drew Brees and Russell are similar but different,
Yeah, they're different.
Like would he implant like a system like Brees, or would he kind of like elaborate on like getting out of the pocket? Because Drew Brees was he's a Hall of Famer, great quarterback, but it was more of like
quick throws,
quick slants, accurate, put it right here. Like Russell's never really been like
he's not the accuracy.
He's more of a deep ball, take the shot.
I'm sure he would, evaluate what Russ's strengths are and build an offense around that.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, he's a football genius. We can't.
Because like Brees was like a 2-step drop, hit the
the slant.
Marquise Colston. Yeah, Jimmy Graham. But yeah, I mean that's what they give up your first round pick. Give up the Niners pick for Sean Payton, Denver.
Sing us a song.
Sing us a song, a piano man. Sing us a song tonight. There is a dog in my backpack, and he's barking at me. When he barks, I get tingly, because he's hanging out with me. And then he jumps out my backpack, and he lands on his feet. And then he ends up in my backyard, and I just let him eat.
You're still singing?
Yeah, I sing a whole song. But it's called A Dog in My Backpack.
Yo, call me Pooh Bear, 'cause I Pooh Bear.
But I want to talk about these 4 games we have.
Luke, I'm filled with excitement and vigor.
Good, man. I'm happy to hear that.
Can you hear it in my voice?
You got something going on in your leg. I just real quick, we can touch on them, man. Chiefs and Jacksonville Jaguars at Kansas City Saturday at 3:30.
What you got? What you got? Who you got? Who you picking?
No, I don't think this game is going to be that close. I think the Chargers would have put up a better fight against the Chiefs.
Probably, yeah.
Divisional game. I don't know, man. I just think if I know this is like crazy to say, but if we took like what happened between the Jags and Chargers game, like the Chiefs would have ran away with that.
Yeah. Chiefs, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes ain't going to lose a game when they're up by 20. They'll actually come back when they're down by 20.
And like, if you turn the ball over 5 times against the Chiefs, you're giving up 35 points.
Yeah, it's you can pretty much start the bus and rev the engine. You're heading home.
And like, what is the recipe for Jacksonville to beat the Chiefs? Because I can't think of one.
I mean, in all honesty, Trevor Lawrence has to go toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes, Travis Etienne, 100-plus yards, and their defense has to play out of their mind. Turnovers. They have to turn over Patrick Mahomes. That's the only way, man. It's the only way. But that's a dream scenario. That's like playing, a perfect game.
Because this is the highest over-under, but it's also the largest spread. 8.5 favor for the Chiefs. So, I mean, what that tells me is, like, there's going to be a point scored in this game by the Chiefs. Like, the Chiefs are going to score a lot of points here.
Is it sad that I wanted to take the Jaguars?
No, it's not sad. I think a lot of people are rooting for Jacksonville, but in reality, what are the chances that the Chiefs have a bad game?
No. Like I said, with Andy Reid coach team, they're gonna be very prepared and led by Patrick Mahomes. They're gonna come firing on all cylinders, I believe. I mean, the only weakness that the Chiefs really have is their defense, right?
Yeah, I guess if you're gonna, yeah.
But you don't have to worry that you don't have to lean on your defense when you have Patrick Mahomes in that offense.
No, like the defense hasn't been horrible. I mean, they're
They're
some,
always like average.
they have some playmakers out there, but
I'm gonna take the Chiefs.
yeah, I'm gonna take the Chiefs. I'm just trying to figure out some scenarios in my head to where like Jacksonville can even make this a game.
31-23 Chiefs.
Okay, I like that.
What is the spread? 8.5?
Yeah.
Okay, so they cover the spread. I like it.
You think they'll cover?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm gonna say 35-21 Chiefs.
35-21 Chiefs. Okay.
Cause I like the Chiefs, man. Yeah, gosh dang. Arrowhead. It's just overwhelming to think about the Chiefs. The next game is the Giants and the Eagles.
Yes, it is. I want to say an interesting fact about divisional playoff games. The murder rate goes up in both cities.
Is that actually real?
No, I just made that up. I assume tensions get pretty high in there.
I mean, Philly and New York, yeah.
They don't play, man.
At either
in neither of those cities, man.
What do you think about the game? I mean, what are you looking forward to the most in this matchup?
What am I looking? I'm looking forward to seeing how the Eagles play in the playoffs. I think the last time we saw them in the playoffs, they got their head stomped in, right?
Tampa.
Yeah, it was destroyed. Jalen Hurts is a different man. This offense is a different animal. This defense is a different breed. This is a whole new team, and I think it's all about how they come out. They've struggled a little bit, limped kind of into the playoffs, but I have full confidence in Jalen Hurts and the Eagles to put on a good showing, and it might be a little too much for the Giants.
Yeah, I think ultimately both of these teams are both top 5 rushing offenses. So we'll see that. So I guess to me that means which of the two between Jalen Hurts and Daniel Jones has the better throwing game?
I think Jalen Hurts has weapons upon weapons, and Daniel Jones has limited weapons.
Which is why, on paper, you would obviously take the Eagles.
Yeah, Danny Jones only has Lil Richie Jane.
And my thing is, like, just the divisional matchup, like, looking at their matchup history, the Eagles haven't lost at home to the Giants since 2013. They've won 9 straight. So, I mean, that just looking at that alone, it's like it's hard to take the Giants. They're 2-0 this year against the Giants. They've blown them up pretty good.
Not the last game.
Not
And Daniel
the
Jones
first
and
matchup
Saquon
they did.
didn't play.
The first matchup they did. And, like, the Eagles are rested. They get a whole week off. They're getting healthy. And you're basically playing the Vikings. So it's like the Giants played the Vikings, but the Eagles are like the Vikings, but with an athletic quarterback and a way better defense.
The Eagles are the Eagles, man.
Come on, man. Don't do me like that.
The Eagles
Are the best team in football. Thank you. That's all you had to say.
I don't, who are you picking? The Eagles?
Yeah, I'm having the Eagles big.
As a resident Eagles fan, how do you feel about this game?
They're going to make Daniel Jones look like he's Trent Dilfer.
Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl.
No, current Trent Dilfer.
Oh, Towhead?
They're going to make Daniel Jones look like he's an analyst, dude.
Yeah, it's hard for me to take the Giants, but, like, I don't know, man. Something about
Take them, dude. Come on, man. I want to have this beef when we're watching the game.
Something about me taking underdogs is not working very well.
If the Giants win and you take the Giants, I will.
You need to write me a haiku.
I'll write you a haiku and I'll do it I'll wear no shirt for a whole week.
You just said you're going to wear no shirt. Is that an oxymoron?
I'm not sure. I'm not that smart to figure that one out.
Think about it.
How about I'll paint my belly?
I don't. You know what? Keep your shirt on. Just write me a haiku.
Okay, I'll write you a haiku if the Giants win.
Okay, but do I have to pick the Giants?
No, I want you to pick whoever you believe is going to win, dog.
I'm gonna pick the Eagles.
Okay.
28 27-23.
I like that. I'm going to say 27-21.
I was thinking about that, bub.
I like the 27 for the Eagles.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Kensington Street, man. New Skid Row.
Yeah, just watch out for them birds.
You know about Kensington Street? Or
No.
Kensington? It's like real bad out there in terms of
In Philly?
yeah, it's bad.
Homelessness is bad.
They
around
call
the
it
world.
like there's people that walk around like zombies. It's like Skid Row but in the East Coast. It's the East Coast Skid Row.
Why don't we just like build a coffee shop and have them all work at it?
You think you're gonna get drug addicts to work at it without stealing out of the cash register and pooping in the Starbucks
Just give them like
cup?
$10 an hour.
They're not gonna want to work a 9 to 5, bro.
Yeah, dude.
No,
Why not, man?
they'd rather get their fix and be on their way, man.
Well,
First of all, they like
I'm
to.
trying to supply some solutions, man.
I got a solution for you.
What?
I think they need help.
Someone to love?
No, I think they need recovery.
Well,
Not jail. Recovery.
you gotta want
They're
recovery.
addicts.
They have to want it, though.
I know. I mean, I can't. They got to do it themselves at the end of the day. That's why it's.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a sad
But
story.
if you supply something for them to at least feel like they're getting somewhere in life, like working at a coffee shop for little dollars, then maybe that'll prevent the like, hey, I'm trying to be better. Let me go.
They can work at a coffee shop whenever they want. They just have to apply for the job. They obviously don't want to work.
No, but it would just be set up just for them only.
Like they want to live on the street so they can do. They want to live to do their, their dope or whatever. And it's a sad state of affairs to get someone out of that, cycle because people think it's just as easy as just getting a job or, this and that. But it's way deeper. You gotta get into the brain and get their, them wanting to do it for themselves. They They can't do it for their family. They can't do it for their kids. They can't do it for this and that. They can't do it for you, Luke. They can't do it for me. They have to do it for themselves. That's what we got to know. Just keep them in your prayers and your thoughts. And, if you see someone struggling, give them a shoulder to cry on.
Wow.
Luke's got tears in his eyes. Someone get him a tissue.
Someone give me something to eat.
I want what's on your plate, man.
Sunday at 2 p.m. We got the Bengals and the Buffalo Built Different at Orchard Park.
This is a tough one for me.
This isn't a tough one for me. Did I say this, though? Is Von Miller out yet, or does he have a chance to play?
He's out.
He's out for sure.
Yeah,
If Von Miller was playing this game, Buffalo would win. Straight out, straight up. Von Miller plays this game, Buffalo wins. Straight up. I'll say that right now.
But he's not playing. Who wins?
But if he's not playing, it makes it more interesting.
Buffalo still wins.
Now I have to actually think about it. But what I'm thinking, I don't know. These teams are like the same. Buffalo's got a little better defense. Bengals' offensive line stinks. But Buffalo seems that they can be beatable. If they have a bad day, Bengals are, Burrow's burrowing. They can win. But I'm going to take the Bills. I think the Bills have a good game here. Not like a get-right game, but they're looking like they're kind of, figuring it out a little bit. Josh Allen's not forcing a lot of stuff. Maybe Singletary gets established a little longer. So I'm going to take the Bills in this game, and I'm going to take them. They're favored by 5.5. I think the Bengals can cover that. I'm going to say 27-24 Buffalo.
I'm going to go.
Surprised the over-under is only 48. That's not that much.
I'm going to go. And this is I have no takes on the field football between the Bengals and Buffalo. This is all divine intervention with Buffalo, with everything they've been through. I think they win this game at home through the power of those unseen. 28-27.
Wow.
I think Josh Allen corrects some stuff. I think Stephon Diggs has a big game. I think Josh Allen uses his legs a little bit more. Ball security will be a priority, and it's just tough for the Bengals to be so decimated on the offensive line, and having basically Joe Mixon is, incomplete. He's what's that word? Irrelevant at this point for the Bengals.
Let's see more Samaje Perine.
Yeah,
I thought I never would ever say that.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. There's something about the Bengals that just scares me. But I'll go with the Bills, just for DeMar Hamlin.
Yeah, that'd be bittersweet, man.
Yeah, I got a sweet taste in my mouth.
And obviously, I think this next matchup is the most anticipated. Will be the most watched matchup in the playoffs.
America's team and America Junior's team.
We got pretty boy Brock Purt. We got Dak Attack Preston.
Have you heard Brock Purdy's nickname?
No.
It's vulgar.
Oh, I don't want to hear it.
Big blank Brock. There was a sign in the stands, and it said big, and it had a picture of a chicken, and then Brock.
Ah, that's creative.
He's trying to get on the Nick Foles way.
He looks like he's about 11 days from turning 17.
He doesn't look like day shade over 16 and a half like he just got his driver's permit.
I mean, yeah.
But he's 25, isn't he?
Is he? He did 4 years?
No, he's like 23.
Yeah, if he did 4 years, he's 23.
Of Stinson Bennett.
Yeah, Bennett's about the same age as Neil Peart. Rest in peace.
Too soon, man.
I love Neil Peart, man. I didn't mean it in anything disrespect. But yeah, man, I'm gonna be locked into this game. I know it's a later game on Sunday. I gotta go to bed early. Gotta eat before 8 p.m. So I gotta make sure I clear some time out for this game, man, because it's gonna be exciting. If we get something similar to what we saw last year, the last second drive, Dak's, wasn't good with time management, whatever. I'm just interested to see what it looks different this year. Both teams look like they're hitting their strides. Who's gonna play the better ball Sunday night? What do you think?
I love this game more than a morbidly obese child loves cake. I cannot wait for this game. I got it circled on my calendar. Dallas Cowboys, America's team. San Francisco 49ers, probably the second most loved team in all of America. It's going to be a clash of like old 80s. A lot of boomers and people born in the 80s and 70s and 90s. Because those were like the powerhouses. Jerry Rice, Joe Montana, Steve Young, Troy Aikman, White Jay-Z, Emmitt Smith,
Michael Irv,
Rod Carew,
Don Cheadle.
But anyway, it's going to be like a weird vibe in, the nation that night. But I think it's going to be a heck of a game and very interesting and a good game. I'm excited for it.
I think the better team of the two is the 49ers.
Overall, yeah, I would agree.
I think like the best NFC Championship game would be the Niners and Eagles, if you're to ask me. Two most complete teams in the conference. But Dak Prescott.
Don't do it, man. Pick San Francisco.
Dak Prescott and Tony Pollard out here shining. They're shining lights, man. And I tell you what, you said it early on. We didn't really touch on it very often. The Dallas defense can get after it. We saw against Tampa Bay, they're getting after it. They bring a whole bunch of pressure. Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence off the edge. They bring a lot of heat. Dan Quinn is not scared of anyone as a defensive coordinator. He's always been like Atlanta did that. He does it in Dallas. And if they get, Brock off his rock, he has to come up. He has to sit on top of it instead of being underneath it. It could change the whole aspect of this game.
Big lock, Brock. I think the outcome will come down to who can out-coordinate who defensively. D'Amico Ryans, Dan Quinn. Who comes up with a better defensive scheme against the offense? That's going to be fascinating to see, a chess match between great minds of football.
Yeah, both of these teams have great staffs. Dan Quinn, Kellen Moore, Mike McCarthy, Shanahan, D'Amico, and whoever the OC is, I forget. But they always have good OCs. It's just like, McCarthy, I guess, even last year, he had that. People blame him for the time management.
He's been a good playoff coach. I don't care what no one says.
His all-time record is real good. He's a good coach. There's a reason that they gave him another chance. He's good at what he does. So it's there's not really a coaching, difference here either. Both of these guys know what they're doing. I'm just trying to figure out what is gonna dictate this game. And I trust Dak more than I do Brock Purdy, I think, right?
Yeah.
Both of these defenses are solid. The Niners are better.
The Niners have more weapons that can hurt
on
you.
offense.
Yeah.
Better offensive line.
Because if you think about it, outside of CeeDee Lamb and Dalton Schultz, who
Gallup.
Ooh, Michael.
He's the X
scored
factor.
A touchdown.
Yeah.
Noah Brown.
Tony Pollard, Zeke. Their offensive line isn't as good. That's a fact.
Why is Tyron Smith playing right tackle?
I don't know. I was very confused.
I know, that was shocking to Luke.
Tyler Smith was at left, right? Or Jason Peters?
Tyler Smith was
guard.
He's blocking.
Jason Peters. 40-year-old Jason Peters is playing left tackle.
The report is he did a fantastic job on Vita Vea.
Why is a 40-year-old Jason Peters playing left tackle?
I don't know if it was some kind of scheme or they saw a weakness in Tampa Bay I don't know, but that doesn't make any sense. Usually your left tackle plays left tackle no matter what.
Jason Peters should be playing right tackle, and Tyron Smith should always be left tackle.
Jason Peters should be playing retirement.
Yeah, that's true. It's just very weird to see that. Tyron Smith playing right tackle.
I wonder if we'll see. I mean,
He's too freaky to be a right tackle. He needs to be on that left.
yeah,
He needs to be on that blind side.
he needs to be putting that arm knee brace on.
I'll tell you what. If
Oh.
Tyron Smith is playing right tackle in this game, 49ers win.
Okay, well,
30-24.
okay, now you're putting caveats on it. Who's gonna win the game, regardless where he plays, bub? Stop trying to make a little. Hey, I got.
Or are they going to put him at left tackle?
Luke, you gotta pick it no matter what. It could be anything.
No,
you can't
it
have an
couldn't be
out.
anything.
Boys and audience, he can't have an out. He's got to pick a game no matter
but what
where
I'm
he
saying,
plays.
like, is he going to play right tackle? They put him at right tackle last game.
Luke, I'm not a gypsy.
No, I'm just kidding. It's not that serious, but it's just I was very confused. I'm taking the Niners. It's not going to be it's going to be close. It's going to be like 24-21 49ers. Taking the under, and I'm taking Cowboys cover.
What was the score?
24-21.
I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys 24-23.
Really?
Yes.
I love you, man. I love that.
Dallas, stay with me. Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys.
Jerry Jones would kiss you right now, dude.
All right, then.
If Jerry Jones is around, he'd be kissing on you.
I ain't laying a finger on that guy.
Cowboys fans are going to love you, dude.
Hey, man, I've got to play to the, I got to play to the fans.
I love it, man, because we were going chalk, chalk, chalk.
I'm tired of chalk, man. I wanted to take so many upsets.
So you got the Chiefs. You took the Eagles.
Yeah.
You too scared of that one. You got scared of there.
That one's the easiest one for me.
Nah, it's the Jaguars and Chiefs.
Oh, well, those two are the easiest.
So you're the Chiefs, Eagles, Bengals, and Cowboys.
I really want to go back and change to the Bengals.
No,
Can I?
Do you, in your heart of hearts?
Buffalo.
Chiefs, Eagles, Buffalo, and Cowboys for Aaron.
Yes. Luke took all the favorites per usual.
That's not right at all. I took 2 non-favorites last week, and I was right on both.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're in store for a big upset this week. Like I'm talking.
It's the Cowboys.
That's not that big to me though. Like a big upset would be Jacksonville and over
That's
Chiefs,
not gonna happen.
or Giants over Eagles. One of those games.
I mean, that's a big upset, but it's not like that's not.
That's a big upset.
It's not gonna happen.
You don't know, man.
Yeah, I do. There's stuff that you know, and there's stuff that you don't. Like they're not even like there's I don't know. There's not. It's always the ones that are like 55-45. Like you could really go either way.
Hey, I know something 100%.
Eagles are 80% favored. What I mean.
Luke, I know something 100%. I don't know.
That's true.
How long have we been on here?
1:30.
Is it long?
You ready?
Now you got something to say?
Yeah, I got a lot to talk about.
All right. I wish we had a Luke quote of the week.
You don't have one today?
Nah, man, you don't say nothing funny no more.
No, I'm as strict as it comes, man.
Oh, I do.
I'm on a strict regiment.
Yeah, I want to dive into that a little bit. I just want to say how proud and motivated I am by Luke because he's working hard, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about from January 1st. This guy's been doing 2-a-days, 3-a-days, treadmill, eating good in the neighborhood. He's having a good time. He's just never sitting still. This guy is absolutely a monster. And I think we can all take a few things from what Luke's doing right now and put it into our daily lives, and we will become better men and women. I think Luke is there for women too.
I appreciate those words, man, but it all just comes from fueling that fire inside. We all have a little flame inside, some bigger than others, but you have to fuel that fire, man.
Well, what would you say to someone that's fire is insatiable?
I'd say I salute you, man, because he's doing the things that he doesn't want to do in his life, but he does them anyway.
The fire in me is insatiable, which means that it can never be conquered. It will never be conquered. What would you say to that?
You're never going to be happy in life.
You saying I have to turn down the furnace a little bit?
I think you should, man, because, I mean, if it's always just burning super high on high all the time, like...
I'm just kidding. I just wanted to see what you
When
had
are
to say.
you're always going to be chasing after something that you're never really going to get. Because I have to teach myself that, too, all the time.
Luke, what would you say to someone, not me, but said to you, despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage?
What would I say to him?
Yeah, like what advice would you give him?
Advice? I'd probably be questioning what he's talking about.
Would you, okay,
Say, hey, what do you mean by that?
Oh, let's pretend like we're having that conversation.
Okay.
Hey, just pretend like I'm an anonymous person.
Alright.
Hey, Lou. How you doing, bud?
Hey, what's going on, brother?
Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage, man.
I think you're more than a rat, dog.
It's a figure of speech, bud.
Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage. Like, despite all your rage, there's nothing you can really do about things in your life. and that's okay, you know?
Yeah, man. I think you answered my question in a roundabout way.
Roundabout?
Roundabout.
I don't know. There's a lot to unfold in that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Because if you're full of rage, you're trapped in a cage, like, what are you... I mean, to me, that means, like, you're trapped. Like, you have a lot of rage, you're trapped, but you can't really do anything about it.
I would, if someone asked me that, I would say, hey, man, I gotta, I'm sorry you're feeling that way. I gotta go and immediately call 911.
On him?
Yeah,
Like the police or the paramedics?
I call 511. So this guy needs to be admitted. Dude. He's like,
Is that the yellow firefighters?
He's talking crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be intrigued. Like, what do you mean by that? You know, but
You'd have to ask Billy Corgan.
just a lot of people are dealing with stuff.
Despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a cage. I'm starting to figure it out the more I say it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
It means no matter how strongly you feel about something or how strongly you feel rage or caged in, you're always going to be in this cage in this society.
No matter how hard you try, you can't stop us now.
Oh, we're just going to start throwing lyrics at each other?
Yeah, I'm down.
I don't got any more, man.
Tommy.
Yo, call me Pooh Bear, cause I Pooh Bear.
Yeah. I think we shouldn't do that anymore.
What happened?
I need to get you in the studio for about 3 hours and lock you in there and just see what you come out with.
Dude, I really think we should each do like a long-winded segment by ourselves and see how wild it gets.
You've got the floor, man.
No, I mean, like, I don't want you in here. I can't be in here when you do yours.
What are you going to talk about?
I have no idea.
What, do we publicize it?
I don't know. We'd have to, like, I think you would listen to mine and I'd listen to yours.
I don't think you would understand.
Yours?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'd probably do a testimony on my life.
Oh, you would?
My trials and tribulations, or... I mean, that's the only thing I can really think of. I can't just talk about anything.
I'd be interested in doing that.
But it has to be... Yeah. We should do that one day.
I think it would be
It
good.
would be very boring in here.
Nah, you're talking about something.
Yeah, I guess. I enjoy very much talking with you.
You like talking to me a lot.
Yeah, you're kind of funny. Looking.
I smell like nothing, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's like a mystery. You're like kind of like a big, I wouldn't say like, you're a big guy, but usually big people, I'm not saying like Luke's fat or
I'm a big guy, yeah.
He's a big guy, and usually big people used to like emit foul odors.
Yeah.
Like disturbed, like Big Sheriff at the gym. That guy, he uses a machine, and that thing's stained for the next 26 hours, dude. It doesn't matter how many times you sanitize it, you can't use that machine for a while, 'cause But Luke's like an odorless phenomena of pure bliss.
I don't know about all that, man.
Me, on the other hand, dude, I'll take a shower. Let's say it's a hot shower. I'll soap up. I'll lather up. I got good hygiene. I'll get out of the shower. I'm smelling good in about 10 minutes. My pits smell bad again.
Really?
I can lather up. I have to put deodorant on after a shower. It's a shame. Or I get a wretched smell imminent. It fills the room when I'm around.
Are you like sweating when you get out the shower?
No, actually the last like 10 seconds of my shower I put on very cold. Dude, it's cold showers I breathe so hard, and I realize that you're supposed to try to control your breathing, but I have a lot of work to do because I'm like audibly breathing real hard. In the cold shower, I can't handle it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Before we got in here, I took a shower and I didn't put it on like hot. I put it on like medium cold, and then I dropped it as low as I could, and I freaked out. Like I ran out to the back of got out of the water. I had to stand there for like 5 seconds to try to reach around the cold water to turn it off.
Yeah.
Because it was so cold, and I was like, dude, no way. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I do that every whenever I'm feeling real tired, I'll do that, and like it wakes me up, but I just cannot, conquer that cold. It's different.
It's like some days aren't as bad. It's like you could do the same temperature that you did the day before, and you're like, okay, I can handle it. I turn my back for a minute, and then like the next day you do the same temperature, and it's like, dude, what? You start freaking out.
The key, I think, is like don't take your like a steaming hot shower and then go into. So I'll keep it on like halfway where it's like warm, like comfortable, and then I go drop it to sub.
Dude, that's still hard too though.
But I feel real good. Like it's like a jolt of energy, and it's something to change it up. Something going on.
I think another thing that we've kind of been indulging on recently is the sauna and steam room at the gym.
Oh yeah, we've been regulars, man. We've been doing like 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes in the sauna, then we go immediately into the steam room. And we're doing real well in the sauna, wouldn't you say? We're hanging out, or
15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, we're having a good time. We're getting a little glisten all over our bodies. We're looking good. And then we go into the dreaded steam room where we lose our souls and lose oxygen.
I tell you what, man, it's a horrible five minutes, but when you get out, man, you're like, golly, man, it's just it's almost like it lifts a veil over your eyes and your body. You're like, man, I feel like I just pulled off like a layer of skin. I feel like I could accomplish a lot of things once my body recovers from that crazy 5 minutes. But it's a good, I love it. Yeah. Like, as terrible as it is at the time, like, if I can continue to, like, maybe tomorrow we do 6 minutes and then 7 minutes and, like, stay in there and really just, like,
suffer.
Kind of boil your blood. Like,
dude.
I felt it boiling today.
Yeah, I felt like we were cooking.
Yeah.
I literally felt like
my face was like melting off.
I felt like a hot dog on a stick over a fire roasting.
Like my left hand was like, you could feel the blood boiling in it.
So when we got into the steam room, it was very minimal steam than we've experienced before. So we're like, oh man, this isn't so bad. I mean, it's still hot and pretty miserable still. And then
moist.
And then slowly the mustard gas oozed into that dreaded mist where you can't see anything, and it was destroying us. We were dying.
Yeah, it's hardcore.
But it's how would you like? I want to pick your brain. Like, how would you describe how you feel when you're
like
under
the feeling, like mentally or physically?
Like both. Like what is going on? Like I think it's fascinating because it's like not fun. It's not fun. It's not pleasurable. It's none of those. But I want to know. I'll describe my experience, but I want to know yours. What you go through.
I mean, to me, it like physically, it feels like you're not like getting burnt. It's not like a burning. It's like a baking. Like it's not like you're like sitting out in the hot sun like your skin's getting toasted. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's on the inside of your body coming out. So I wouldn't really,
Wow.
like, it's not like you're standing 100 feet from the sun. Like, it's like, literally like you're in an oven, conventional oven, probably 420 degrees, and you're just like, your meat and your veins and your blood on your inside are boiling, like you get that boiling, like that bubbling, bursting inside of your body, and then the sweat just dripping out of your skin is like the feeling for me. But then like mentally, it's like I was listening to a frequency, trying to control my breathing, trying to control my mood, and you just can't. As much as you want to just relax and put your mind on something else, your whole body is literally baking, and you're like, you can't stay in there for more than 10 minutes. It's physically impossible.
Yeah, I like how you described the physical feeling as burning from the inside out.
Absolutely.
Whenever my experience in the steam room is like, I'm thinking, man, this is really, really like uncomfortable. Everything's hot. I can't see anyone. I'm with a bunch of half-naked men. But
Salute.
I respect everyone in there though that hangs in there, respecting me.
That one guy came in there for not even probably 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think he was doing intervals because he was going in after.
He did.
Yeah. But it's like my heart beats real fast.
Oh yeah.
And my hands get tingly, like my blood flow has been opened up. Like I had let's say if I had like blockages or it was moving slow, something opens up the floodgates and my blood's flowing, my head's beating real hard. I see stars. I start to.
You look like your body's dead inside. Like you don't have anything in your eyes.
Yeah.
Your eyes are like pink. Your body's white. Like it's just like
It's
a reset.
What is it? A sweat lodge.
Yeah.
Like Native Americans, and I understand, but mentally, I'm thinking most of the time it's hot, and then I try. Like you're supposed to focus on something else or think about something else to get, and then for like maybe half a second, it's not that bad, and my mind's on something else, and then a second later, I'm snapped back in. Man, this is horrible, and I'm struggling to breathe.
Exactly.
I'm dripping. I can't see. I'm in pain, and then,
It's crazy.
my hands are tingling. It's just a crazy experience. But like Luke said, when you get out, man, you feel like a brand new, person.
Dude, you feel so good. Like your body, is not as sore. I could hear better than I did before I could go in there.
See,
You can smell the fresh air.
things are more vibrant when you get out.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
And that's like me and Luke's. We very much
We eat that up.
we advocate for sauna use and steam room.
I'm trying to look at one right now, 2800.
It's
I'm gonna build one, put it
You
up.
can look it up. There's so many benefits, health benefits, mental benefits. It's amazing. I recommend it to each and every one of our listeners. This is not a paid sponsorship, but I wish we were sponsored by Sauna United.
Yeah, I recommend it. I loved it. It's something that we're really embracing and definitely gonna continue.
What are we on?
150.
Alright, we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey, that was him. Thank you for listening to another episode of Forget What You Heard. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thanks for the support as always. We love you guys. We do it for you. Enjoy playoff football. Enjoy your week. Have a great week at work. Have a great week at home. We love you guys. Peace, love, and happiness.
David Lucas.
Dan Quinn.